This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, The Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on The Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famer Mike Van Diest joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
The Jason Walker Show, presented by Helena Accommodations. The in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. Broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Man Cave, here's Jason Walker.
Yo, happy Tuesday. It is the Jason Walker Show inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Thank you for being a part of the show today. We got a good one planned for you. Hopefully everything works as normal, as it should. And yeah, we'll go from there. So we're going to talk, we got On This Day in History coming up. We have the walk-off. That's always at the end of the show. Got some new awesome product to talk about from our friends at Manscaped and a whole lot more. And if that's not all, we're going to be joined by Catherine Russo of Butte High School, the state AA swim star. She is so good, and she's heading off to Ohio State, possibly the Olympics this year in Tokyo. And we'll talk with Catherine coming up here in about 15 minutes or so on the Mike Miller State Farm hotline. Cannot wait for that. Should be very fun. All right, so, and also, we know about the lawsuits against Carroll College. There's similar, to an extent, lawsuit, Title IX lawsuit we're going to talk about here in a little bit as well, out in Minnesota, but it is similar for the most part. There's some separation, but there's still some similarities between what's happening there and at Carroll College, so we'll talk about that. Thank you to those who are watching on the Facebook, also on the YouTube, and listening on TreasureStateRadio.com, also Podbean and Network One Sports. And as always, the show is presented by Helena Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. All right, we're also going to talk Frontier Conference rankings from our good friend over at 406mtsports.com, the intrepid beat reporter for the Carroll College Saints, Ryan Kuhn. We'll talk with him, getting text messages and all sorts of stuff. And and tomorrow, I can't wait for tomorrow. Sarah Evans is going to be in concert tomorrow night in Helena, and I'm going to take my daughter to it. The oldest, not the youngest, the oldest. But yeah, that'll be fun. But we're still going to do a show tomorrow night. All right, so another week and yet another award for Zacchaeus Darko Kelly. We talked about it yesterday, the Frontier Conference Player of the Week for a third consecutive week. He now has 6 Players of the Week. He is locked up Frontier Player of the Year in my eyes. And today he was announced as the NAIA National Player of the Week for the third consecutive week. This has never been done at the NAIA Division I level. Since stats were digitalized back in 2011, no players won the National Player of the Week award 3 times in a row. There was a guy named Corday Sims who was the last to go back-to-back, but he also was the last player to win it 3 times in a season. Not 3 times in a row, just 3 times in a season. Back in 2015, 2016, Corday Sims of Peru State, he was really good. So has Darko Kelly now wrapped up the Frontier, not only Frontier Player of the Year, but also the National Player of the Year honor? I mean, you gotta think so, right? 3 straight NAI Division I National Player of the Week awards? It's never happened. To quote the head coach up at Providence, Steve Keller, what an amazing accomplishment, adding, I'm not sure this has ever happened. I'm going to assume that it hasn't happened at the national level. It hasn't happened since I've been coaching. He's earned it. I'm a little bit speechless, end quote. Now, if Steve Keller says that he's speechless, he's speechless. We all know Coach Keller quite well. So this is why Darko Kelly was the player of the week on the national level for a third straight week. Friday night against Western, he had a career high 40 points and 13 rebounds. Also had 7 assists. So he just missed out on a triple-double by 3 assists. 40 points is tied for the second most points scored in a game in Argo history. How about that? Hadn't happened since the 1971-72 season. Darko Kelly followed up his 40-point performance with his second career triple-double in a win over Rocky, finishing with 20 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists on Saturday night. What's even more impressive, in the 2 games, no turnovers. How about that? So there you go. Darko Kelly is really good. I mean, just think about this. In the last 3 weeks, he's averaged almost 31 points a game, almost 11 rebounds a game, and just about 8 assists per game. And he's shooting 60% from the field and 50% from three-point line. He's got to be National Player of the Year, right? He has to be. If he's not, show me someone else across the country who's doing better. And not to mention, Darko Kelly's been good all year, but he's gotten better here at the end of the season when his team has needed him most. Providence is in a dead heat right now with Carroll College for second place in the Frontier, both of which can either finish first, second, or third in the standings based off what happens this week. The big game coming up is Thursday night. At Helena, the Argos take on Carroll College. Whoever wins has the season series. They've each won 1. They're both 11-5. Both trail LC State by 2 games. LC State's going to win the Frontier. There's no question about that. But Darko Kelly, his team needed him the most in the last 3 weeks, and all he's done is perform. And we talked to him last week. He hit a little bit of a fatigue in middle of the season, around the end of January, first part of February. But in the last 3 weeks, he's averaging 31 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists. He's almost averaging a triple-double over the last 3 weeks. Russell Westbrook is the only person that comes to mind. Let's go back to a couple years ago when Ryan Imhoff of Carroll was the National Player of the Year. He didn't put up numbers like this. He had a hell of a season, but he didn't put up the numbers that Darko Kelly is. It's just flat out amazing. You're going to have the National Player of the Year come from a team that's probably not going to win the national championship. Argos, Carroll, LC, probably all 3 headed off to nationals in Kansas City in about a month, 3 weeks or so. But there's no way in heck that anybody else in this country is playing at the level that Darko Kelly is right now with the University of Providence. He's going to be your Frontier Player of the Year, and it's not even close. Now, there was a point, and we talked about this the other day, there was a point early in January, February, where Carroll's Jovan Slovanchinin, I thought maybe was going to give a run. He's got 6 Player of the Week nods in the Frontier, same as Darko Kelly. The two of them have 12 of the, 16 that have been handed out, 17 or so? They're the 2 best players in the Frontier. There's no question. But Darko Kelly has just pulled away. There's not even... He didn't have a turnover last week. He averaged, 30 points and had a triple-double and almost averaged a triple-double last week alone, let alone the last 3 weeks. But in 2 games, Friday and Saturday, back-to-back games, 0 turnovers. 0 turnovers. That's impressive, man. Super impressive. And I'm rooting for the kid. And I've been a fan of his since he was a freshman at Western and a sophomore at Western. But this dude is unbelievable. So congrats to Darko Kelly, who, if he doesn't win National Player of the Year, we all should riot. Right? You with me on this? Has there been a player in the NAI, Brandon Brown maybe, the last, a decade ago down at Western? Where does Steve Keller find these guys, by the way? He's gotten some really good players over the years. He's a heck of a recruiter. But, man, Darko Kelly. Unbelievable. We're going to talk Frontier Rankings coming up. Also, Dawson Community College basketball coming up. And MSU just inducted its latest class into its Hall of Fame last Friday. Today, they announced next year's class. And a couple of great names on there as well. We also have On This Day in History still to come, the walk-off, and a whole lot more. But when we return here on the Jason Walker Show, we're going to check in with Catherine Russo, the amazing swimmer, standout swimmer at Butte High School, heading off to Ohio State. And a chance for the Olympics coming up this summer. We'll talk to her when we return. The Jason Walker Show is presented by Helena Accommodations, and just recently completed their 100th straight 5-star rating from a client. And Dorme Bene Sleep Well, the motto, and they believe in it. And it's an extended stay environment to create a terrific referral and repeat business. In fact, there's so much success, almost always Helena Accommodations is about to be sold out. They've had to turn down prospective clients and even repeat clients and refer them to others. So here's the deal. They need to expand. And if you're a real estate owner, listen up. If you've got a single-family duplex or especially a fourplex, it might be time to discuss joining Helena Accommodations as an affiliate extended stay provider. Give James Yount a call, 422-6702, and have a discussion about the Helena Accommodation business opportunities. Give James a call, 422-6702. Dorme Bene, sleep well. Catherine Russo, Butte High, joins us next. Jason Walker Show.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Everyone knows about Dinners Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinners Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinners Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Spring is fast approaching and summer is just around the corner, so now is the time to get those windows tinted at Auto Concepts as the sun starts to heat up. Tinting is the best way to keep the sun out of your little one's eyes driving down the road. Plus, it just looks cool. Auto Concepts is your exclusive 3M dealer for tinting as well as the best clear bras in town. Auto Concepts clear bras will not fade or yellow over time. And don't forget about suspension lifts and power steps for your rig too. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com or check them out on Facebook. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back on a Tuesday, Jason Walker Show inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave. This segment is presented by our friends at Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn in Helena. Efforting, the phrase we use in the business. Catherine Russo of Butte High, trying to get a hold of her. Hopefully she remembers. If we get her, we'll get her on the air here. The state AA swim champ. She's really good. So hopefully we can get her on the air here in a little bit. All right. So we were talking about Zacchaeus Darko Kelly winning a third consecutive National NAI Player of the Week honor today. And it's never been done before. And I think he's wrapped up the National Player of the Year award in my eyes. But we'll see. You know, crazier things have happened in the NAI. There's no question about that. So hopefully we can get a response on podbean.com, the live stream of the Jason Walker Show. A guy says, what about MJ? MJ didn't play in the NAI. Sorry. Sorry, Nate. You can weigh in anything you want on the Twitter. You can tweet us, like I said. You can Facebook us, email. And as always, you can go to jasonwalkershow.com for old shows, previous, whatever you've missed over the length of this show. All right, so let's get to our Frontier rankings. And our good buddy over at the 406mtsports.com. Oh, wait, let's not. Let's get to, let's answer here. Make sure. Hi, Catherine.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. You're live on the air, so don't cuss.
Okay, sounds good.
I appreciate you joining us. Let me give you the full intro here. Joining us now on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline is the standout swimmer from Butte High School, soon to be an Ohio State Buckeye, and possibly an Olympian, is Catherine Russo. So there's the full intro, and I appreciate you giving me a call back, because I was like, how am I going to fill this time now?
Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. I have no clue what happened. My phone just sent you straight to voicemail.
It's
been
okay.
Crazy lately.
It's okay. It happened. You didn't recognize the number. You're like, yeah, I'm not talking to this person. So how are you? Because you spent, 2 weeks ago winning back-to-back state championships, and the fourth year in a row winning a couple of one of these, or both of them?
Both of them. It was my fourth consecutive year sweeping the 50 free and the 100 fly. And I think according to the MHSA record book, I'm the first person to do so. So that was pretty cool. I had somebody point that one out to me.
No, it's very cool. My first real question is, how did you get into swimming?
So I actually, I was pretty much, when we moved to Butte, I was just doing like kind of swim lessons type deal. And this is actually a great story. My stern instructor was kind of like, okay, we've kind of done what we can with Catherine. Like, there's a swim team that she can try if you want. And my mom was like, okay, yeah, we'll give it a try. So she brought me to the swim team the first day. and I cried. I was 7 years old. I cried on the deck. I told her I was not going to get in. I didn't want to do this. It was cold. It looked awful. So she threw me into the pool and left. And I've just been swimming ever since.
You had to swim to get home.
Yes, exactly.
That's a fantastic story. Catherine Russo, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. All right, so you start swimming. Who did you start to look up to once you figured out, you know what, I kind of like this sport?
My two biggest role models growing up were Lou Young Gerbrandt and Abigail Wheeler. They were both older girls on my son's team, and Lou Young ended up swimming for Purdue, and Abigail went to New Mexico. So seeing them and how far they took the sport was amazing. And even now, like, I look back and it's hysterical because I can text Abby and be like, oh, you know, I just broke one of your records. She's like, that's awesome. Like, you're doing awesome. Just the support that those two have is amazing. So I've been so lucky to have them as role models.
That is awesome. What about nationally? You know, Olympic wise, who do you look up to?
Olympic wise, I probably look up to Missy Franklin the most. She's definitely like, mostly because of all the effort that she puts into the pool, but she also is always, you know, very like positive and looking out for everybody and emphasizing that, you know, you need to be like really making this kind of a team thing. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Catherine Russo, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. All right. So was it last weekend you were just at another swim competition?
Yes. Last weekend was the Montana Club swimming state competition.
And how'd you do there? You won.
Yes, I won. I was in 5 events, and I ended up winning all those, and I set a new state record in one of them.
Wow. So how many records do you have right now?
I think right now in club swimming, I want to say I have 15.
You're like Katie Ledecky.
Thank you. And that's including, like, broken up by, like, the age group and everything. But, yeah, because somebody asked me the other day, and I was wondering the same thing.
Wow. So you're heading off to Ohio State. Are you going to be one of these that says the Ohio State now?
Oh, absolutely. It is the Ohio State.
Why Ohio State? I mean, you could have had your choice probably of some Pac-12s or anything, but why Ohio State?
One of the biggest things that I was looking for was a team that really focused on development, and B, a team that focused on academics just as much as they did athletics. Because you have to be realistic about it. You're not going to be able to do your sport for the rest of your life.
Sure.
It's not going to happen. So I wanted to go somewhere that would really set me up well for the future, but also focus on, because for me, I'm in the pool 6 times a week. I have to drive to Bozeman for those practices. And when you look at girls my age who are competing at my level, that's kind of unheard of. Most of them are swimming 8 to 9 times a week. So when I was talking to the coaches at Ohio State about that, they were awesome. I told them, you know, I can only swim 6 times a week, really. And they were like, we can take you so far. First, they were completely shocked, but then they were like, the things that we can do, like, they focus so much on development, and I love that. And then, yeah, just going back to their focus on academics, all of those girls on that team are achieving amazing things in the classroom, in the pool, like, all over. I don't know if you know this or not, the Ohio State women's team actually just won Big Tens last weekend for the first time since like 1986.
Wow.
So they're doing some crazy things right now.
So you're going to be joining a champion, and you're already a champion. So this is like the perfect marriage for you guys with you and the Buckeyes. Catherine Russo joining us here. Okay, so take me through. You qualified for the Olympic trials. When do you find out, or when do you go swim to find out if you make the Olympic team?
So I'll compete at the Olympic trials on June 21st in Omaha.
Okay. What's the base number that you have to get to go to Tokyo?
It's going to be about 4 to 5 seconds faster than the qualifying time. It's going to be about what I need in order to go. It's hard because in the 100 butterfly, they only take the top 2. They only have room to take the top 2 female finishers, and the top 2 of whoever shows up that day. So you never really know, and there's no exact time either, which is definitely kind of a pain. But, I mean, you have returning Olympic gold medalists, world record holders, so it's definitely going to be a tough field.
But you obviously feel pretty confident. So you're what, 54 in the 100 fly, right around there, 52?
In long course, I go a 100.
Okay. So take me through the difference, because I think you broke 54 this at state a couple of weeks ago.
Yes. So, and there's short course swimming and long course swimming. During like high school swimming and during the winters in club swimming, you swim in a 25-yard pool. So you do 4 lengths for 100. But during the summers in club swimming and like in the Olympics, they swim in 50-meter pools. So then 100 is obviously just 2 lengths. Right. But you don't get walls, and walls are like the extra walls that you have when you're swimming short course is incredibly important. Being able to, because you're underwater is actually the fastest part of any race. You look at people who are achieving a super high level and their underwaters off of every wall are incredibly long and incredibly fast. So when you're swimming in that 25-yard pool, your times are significantly faster than what you're going to be able to do in a 50-meter pool.
Gotcha. And you mentioned the swimming underwater, and that's why part of the reason Michael Phelps was so good. He did that dolphin kick underwater forever.
Yes, absolutely. And it was really interesting. So a girl who used to swim, Catherine Berghoff, I'm sure you've heard of her. She's amazing. She's one of my good friends. Her dad, Dave Berghoff, he was known for winning Olympic medals, and he did what was called the Berghoff blast off, was where he did the entire race underwater pretty much.
Wow.
So since that, they've made rules where you actually can't do that anymore, so we can all thank Dave Berghoff for that. But there are now 15-meter rules off of every wall and you can't do past that, because they wanted it to be more about like the actual swimming rather than the underwater.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, honestly. I mean, if you're doing the 100 fly, then you have to be above the water to do that, right?
Yes, exactly.
Catherine Russo, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. All right, so what's the longest that you can hold your breath underwater?
That I don't know. I haven't tried. I've gotten myself in trouble a few times. My coach would love to tell you this story. She was so mad at me, but we were doing a race. It was just at a smaller meet when my friends, she was talking to me. She was like, I bet that you can't dolphin kick past 50 meters off this wall. I was like, okay, you want to bet that? So I totally did it. Like, totally should have been disqualified, but somehow the officials didn't catch it. The most time ended up counting, and my coach was so angry with me.
Wow. All right, so I got to know this, because I can't swim. I can doggy paddle really, really well, but I can't swim. But I got to know, when you get ready to go to the wall, and I know you've timed this out and you figure out how many strokes you have each 50, or at 25. How many times have you hit your head, though, waiting, because you miscalculated early on in your career? Because obviously you don't do that now.
Oh, yeah, definitely early on. And it's always on backstroke, because especially, how they make the pool at the bottom of the lane, there's kind of a T, and it's like just before the wall. So even like when you're really young, everybody kind of knows like that T means that the wall's coming up, so nobody really hits their head when they're on their stomach. But on backstroke, I've hit my head more times than I can count, and I still do it. It's hysterical. I'm sure the little kids feel way better about themselves, because especially because with the flags, the idea is that you're supposed to have a certain stroke count.
Right.
So you hit the wall. So it should be the same every time, except it's not. And whoever says it's the same every time is a lie. It's like completely different every single time I try to do backstroke. So I've hit my head way more times than I can count.
Oh, that is fantastic. So I guess, it's nice to know that someone who's going to be, a college, possibly an Olympian, still makes the same, mistakes that the normal person does.
Yes, I mean, absolutely. I'm human. Absolutely.
Well, there's some question about that, because you're so good in the pool. What else are you good at?
So I'm sure my voice sounds awful right now. I was screaming all weekend at this meet because we had some little kids there who did awesome. But I sing, actually, believe it or not. I was lucky enough, I got to sing the national anthem to open up for the AA state football game at Naranchi this year, which was awesome.
Yep.
I ski a lot with my family. My little siblings, I have a little sister and little brother. They're amazing skiers. They can ski circles around me just because I'm usually swimming during the winter, so I'm not up there a ton. But I try to keep up with them. I play the piano. Yeah. You're
just an all-around good person.
Well, thank you.
Right? I mean, I'm guessing. You kind of have to. So what's the response like with teammates, but other swimmers around the state because you dominate. I mean, do you have friends at other schools?
Oh, absolutely. some of my best friends, and I mean, part of that is the club swimming. We've all grown up together. The swim community in Montana, it's not very large. I mean, you look across all the different teams, and you could probably combine the people across every single team in Montana, and it'd still be smaller than some of the bigger swim teams. So it's not super big. And some of my best friends have definitely come from other schools. One of my best friends, Caroline Dye, she swims for Kalispell. She's amazing. She'll be swimming at University of Nebraska, Omaha. And then one of my other good friends, Parker Keller, he swims for Helena High. He'll be at Providence. Like, there are all these people doing these amazing things, and especially when we're all in the same sport. Like, we know who everybody is. We've grown up together. We've done this together since we were 9, 10 years old.
Sure.
So it's a family unlike anything else.
So how much weight training do you do, or is it just pool work?
I definitely do a lot of weight training. I lift 2 to 3 times a week. I have a private trainer, Tara Astley at Copper City CrossFit, and she's awesome. She knows exactly what I need. And it was hard for a while because there's definitely not like a weight program in Butte that's, oh, if you're a swimmer, like, this is what to do.
Right.
There's nothing like that. So she's been awesome. I've been able to communicate with her because it's so much back twitch muscle, and then building up the strength in your legs and being able to maintain using them for a long time. So I do lift weights actually pretty frequently, and it was once I started doing that I started seeing some big time drops.
That is awesome. I got to ask you this because I've seen this in the Olympics, but how many caps do you wear during a race?
I wear 2.
And why is that?
So one of the things is I've had races where one of my caps has come off and I've been left with the one on the bottom. Oh. And with your hair down, especially girls, there's so much drag that's created by it. It's ridiculous. Like, you cannot swim fast with your hair down. So the caps are super important for that. And then I'll wear my goggles in between my 2 caps, and that helps me, like, my goggles stay on. Because before I started doing this, I remember we were at state one year, and I dove it, and my goggles flipped down. So I just did my whole 100 free without them, and it's miserable. After that, I was like, I'm never doing that again. So that's just why I kind of like to wear it too.
Gotcha. So how many, like, is 2 like the minimum? I mean, what's the max that somebody usually wears?
I've never heard of anybody wearing more than 2. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody did because they thought it made them really fast, but I don't know if it would really be beneficial.
Wouldn't that kind of slow you down? I mean, at some point, you start putting on too many caps. I think you'd start slowing down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm wondering I'm sure maybe for girls the extra compression would be good if you have a lot of hair, but other than that, I don't really think there would be too much of a benefit.
Well, this is awesome. There's a lot of, like I said, I can't swim. I really can't. If they put doggy paddling in the Olympics, I'm going to win gold every year. Or every 4 years, I guess. But I want to talk to you after June when you qualify for the Olympics. And I want to talk to you down the road because this is fun. You're awesome. And I wish I'd talked to you sooner.
Well, thank you. This has been so much fun.
Catherine, enjoy the rest of your high school career. Oh, by the way, I'm a Bozeman Hawk, so I wanted to throw that in there real quick because Bozeman and Butte were kind of the big rivalries when I was growing up, and they kind of still are, right?
Yeah, I think so, especially after state this year. I can tell you most of Butte definitely does not like Bozeman.
But you get to swim at Bozeman High Pool, which is a really nice pool.
Oh, yes. It's awesome. I love getting to swim there.
What's the best pool in the state?
For me, I think the best pool in the state is the one in Great Falls where they had high school state.
Yep.
It changes person to person. For me, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the atmosphere, but I know I definitely swim a lot faster in that pool. But I've heard of people who think that the pool at the Y in Butte is the fastest pool, or that the one that's in Missoula is the fastest. So
okay.
I guess it just depends who you ask.
The one in Great Falls, and I haven't been there in like 15 years, but it was so like humid in there.
Oh yeah.
Because it's small.
Yes.
Like it's
yes.
The one at Great Falls High, yeah.
Yeah, I think it helps a lot with high school state though, because when it's smaller and I mean it's so enclosed, the energy in there is insane.
True.
Like you wouldn't expect. I would honestly compare it to the energy that was at the state football game, and you wouldn't expect that because it's a swim meet. But it's absolutely very similar. It's amazing. I think that's why I swim quickly too.
Well, yeah, you got the so you can hear the crowd when you're in the pool.
At area, yes, I can, and especially like if you have your teammates like standing at the end of your lane, I can hear that too sometimes.
Wow.
But for me, it depends on the race too, because on the 50 free, I just kind of tune everything out, and I can't tell you what I remember. But when I have to do stuff like the 200 free and I'm so bored for the 2 minutes, then I start listening to what's going on.
Did you just say you get bored?
I do get bored during the 200 free. Well, I'm a 50 freestyler.
That is awesome.
Oh man, my coach is hysterical because when I first started swimming with her in Bozeman, I told her I only do the 50 free and the 100 fly. And she has definitely developed me way past that. So she put me, I was in the 200 back this weekend when we were at state, and I didn't end up doing it in finals because I wanted to get my 100 fly faster. But she put me in the 200 back. And I was like, this stinks. It's 2 minutes of racing. That's a lot longer than 53 seconds or 22.
Well, yeah.
Like, I don't even know what to do for 2 minutes.
just keep your arms flowing, right? Or flying.
Yeah,
there you
pretty
go.
much.
Catherine, I know you're busy. I really appreciate you joining us. And like I said, I want to talk down the road because you're fun.
Well, thank you.
I appreciate it. And good luck at Ohio State, or the Ohio State.
There you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Catherine. That is Catherine Russo joining us here on the Jason Walker Show. We hope she makes the Olympic team for Tokyo coming up. She's fun. That was a great time talking with her. I didn't realize it was going to be that awesome. What a great girl. That was a fun time. All right, let's whoa. Too much fun here on a Tuesday. Seriously, I can't swim. I just can't. And here's the crazy thing. I can water ski and I can be on a jet ski totally fine, but I cannot swim. How about that? I know, weird, right? All right, let's take a quick break. We're going to regroup. When we come back, we got Frontier Rankings, Dawson Community College. We got a whole lot of other stuff to talk about here. Jason Walker Show on a Tuesday is presented by Helena Accommodations. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Spring is fast approaching and summer is just around the corner, so now is the time to get those windows tinted at Auto Concepts as the sun starts to heat up. Tinting is the best way to keep the sun out of your little one's eyes driving down the road. Plus, it just looks cool. Auto Concepts is your exclusive 3M dealer for tinting, as well as the best clear bras in town. Auto Concepts clear bras will not fade or yellow over time. And don't forget about suspension lifts and power steps for your rig too. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com or check them out on Facebook. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Everyone knows about Dinner's Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinner's Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients, along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinner's Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
That was so much fun. Catherine Russo, Butte High, going to be at Ohio State swimming. 4-time state champ in the 50 free and the 100 fly. 4 times in both. That was a lot of fun. We could talk to her for the whole hour show. Oh, man. All right, Jason Walker Show. All of our guests on the Jason Walker Show appear via the Mike Miller State Farm hotline. You know, it's not just a home or a car. It's the 6 months you save for your Ultra HD flat screen just in time for the upcoming baseball season. And the overtime that you work for that third car so your teen can drive himself to practice. While other insurance companies just see them as a bundle or combo, State Farm agent Mike Miller sees your home and car as things you work really hard for. Mike understands what your things really mean to you, and he's here to help give you and them the protection they deserve. Talk to State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena for your home and auto insurance today. Oh, all right. So wanted to get to the Frontier Conference rankings from our good friend over at the Helena Independent Record and 406mtsports.com, and we will here in a second. Some great news about Dawson Community College basketball. The men went undefeated in conference play and will host the NJCAA Division I Region 13 tournament for the first time in the 60-year history at the Glendive School starting Thursday. And the semifinal, or the quarterfinal game, Williston State Bismarck, and then the semifinal will be at 5:30 Friday night. So Dawson will play the winner of Williston and Bismarck. The Bucks went 25-6 overall, 14-0 in the Mondat Conference, and came back from 16-point deficits Sunday against Bismarck State twice, and one in each half, and won 121-101. So that is very cool for the Dawson men. And then the Dawson women will open play in the Region 13 tournament. As the 5 seed, they'll go to Bismarck and play Friday against Lake Region State out at Bismarck. Dawson 15-16 this year, and Lake Region is 18-13. The Bucks defeated Lake Region in the postseason a year ago. And then the winner will play Saturday in the semifinals against Bismarck. So good luck to the Dawson men and women. That is really cool. All right, let's get to our Frontier rankings. We'll start with the women, ladies first. And our good friend over at 406mtsports.com has Carroll College women ranked number 1, 11-5 in the Frontier, 19-9 overall. Normally, I would agree with that. He's got Western in second, 18-9 overall, also 11-5 in the Frontier. Western, though, has beaten Carroll twice out of 3 meetings, so I would put Western ahead of Carroll. Just barely. Then you got LC State sitting in third. LC visits Rocky and Western this week. And good luck to all the teams. Rocky's 4. He's got Providence 5. Those 5 teams will all make the national tournament. Now, he says in his article that the only way Providence can make the NAI national tournament is by winning the automatic bid and winning the conference tournament. That's not true. Providence is 8-8 in Frontier play. They're probably going to finish at worst 9-9. So last year they were 7-11 in the Frontier, made the national tournament. They're going to the national tournament. Frontier will have 5 teams again in the national tournament. And then you got Tech at 6, Northern at 7, no surprise there. So the only real big difference I would have on the women's side is I would flip, he's got Carroll 1, Western 2, I'd flip those two. By virtue of Carroll or Western owning the season series, 2-1. All right, so on the men's side, LC State number 1 makes sense. Despite losing twice last week at Tech, home against Carroll. And they're still going to the national tournament. They're still going to win the Frontier. And here we go. Number 2, Carroll College. Okay. Lost at Tech. Beat LC State. Okay. 3 is Providence. They play Thursday in Helena, the Saints and the Argos. Second place on the line. And yeah, that's basically it. Second place is on the line. Okay, let's see here. 4, he's got Tech. 8-8 in the Frontier. Big wins last week. Beat LC at home. Beat Carroll at home. 2 top 25 wins. Adam Hyatt, by the way, the HoopDirt.com Coach of the Week announced today for the 2 upsets that they got. Let's see here. 5 Northern, 8-8 in the Frontier, 6 Western, 7 Rocky. Makes sense. Rocky hasn't won in conference play in forever. Lost 14 consecutive conference games. So not too many disagreements there. There were some things he wrote, though, that just didn't make any sense. But, oh well. So, yeah. And I think LC, Carroll, and Providence all head to the national tournament in Kansas City. So there you go. All right. Let's see here. What else? I got to get to my rundown here. It's called. Oh, last week, Montana State announced inducted its latest class of the Hall of Fame. And today, they came out with next year's class. So the Montana State Bobcat Hall of Fame class of 2020/2021 includes Ariana Lee, women's track and field and cross country, Devlin Geddes from football, Jeff Clem from men's track and field, Katie Burrows Mobley, the assistant women's coach for women's basketball. Let's see. The 1966, 67, and 68 football teams, the Big Sky Conference first football dynasty, won 4 league titles in the 60s under Jim Sweeney and Tom Perrick. Also, individuals Mike Person for football and men's basketball head coach Danny Sprinkle is going into the Bobcat Hall of Fame next year for men's basketball. So there you go. Congrats to them. I'm sure we'll talk more about that throughout the course of the upcoming year. All right. What else was next? So I saw this today. Carroll College, as we know, has 2 lawsuits against it for Title IX violations. And there was a story that came out today out of St. Cloud, Minnesota. And a judge hearing arguments today on whether St. Cloud State violated a permanent injunction in a Title IX case against the university. So in April of 2016, student athletes filed a lawsuit claiming the university violated federal Title IX gender discrimination rules by cutting various sports teams, and a judge ordered the permanent injunction that reinstated women's tennis and later the Nordic ski team. So in August of last year, St. Cloud State was found in violation of Title IX, and today there are a couple of motions that were brought, a civil contempt because the university failed to comply with the permanent injunction by allowing Nordic skiing and tennis teams to falter. So they let them falter. So these teams, quote, have been decimated for lack of for reasons such as a lack of recruiting and facilities, end quote. St. Cloud State also announced this past December that it is eliminating football along with men's and women's golf after the 2019-2020 year. So a second motion was filed claiming the elimination of the women's golf team violates the injunction. And it's just amazing when you look across the country that the amount of Title IX violations that take place at colleges and universities. And I brought this up last week. Where's the leadership at these schools? So St. Cloud State not only is going to cut football and men's and women's golf, but it's going to add men's soccer this year. What? I mean, you're supposed to have women's sports not cut while these lawsuits are taking place at St. Cloud State, and yet you're cutting women's golf and football. But you're also then going to add men's soccer? That makes no sense. So we'll keep an eye on that. And we are going to talk with a Title IX attorney, I believe this week. We were supposed to talk to her yesterday, but scheduling issues and her job caught up, so we had to reschedule. And hopefully that'll be this week. We'll check in there. But man, it's just, again, where is the leadership at some of these colleges and universities? It blows my mind. It really does. Oh, all right. What else we got to chat about here? I'm still just smiling. We had so much fun with Catherine Russo from Butte High, heading off to Ohio State. Hopefully she qualifies for the Olympic team. That's going to be fun. She'll find out, June 21st, I guess, at the Olympic trials. So there you go. All right, let's do On This Day in History. It is presented by the Motherlode Sports Bar, Casino, and Restaurant. They will start sports gambling, sports betting next month. And I think that 44 televisions at the Motherlode Sports Bar. Serious. I was in there today, and you just everywhere you look, there's a television. So you won't miss anything. Your favorite sport, you can go in and watch it on one of 44 televisions. The Motherlode Sports Bar, Casino, and Restaurant. On this day, 1924, Marie Boyd, playing Maryland high school basketball, scored 156 points. Her team won 163-3. On this date, 1962, Wilt Chamberlain scored 67 points against the Knicks for the second year in a row. He was then with Philadelphia. 1964, Muhammad Ali, then known as Cassius Clay, was 22 years old, knocked out Sonny Liston. Well, technical knockout in 7 rounds, big upset. And Cassius Clay got his first World Heavyweight Championship title. 1974, I'd like to know what these people were thinking. Veronica and Colin Scargill, they're from England. I think they're married. They began a tandem bicycle ride for 18,020 miles around the world. They completed it in August of 1975, so a little over, about a year and a half. I hope they have had a great, strong marriage, because if you're stuck on a bicycle with your wife or husband for 18,000 miles, you better get along. On this date, 1977, Pete Maravich of New Orleans set the NBA record for a guard with 68 points. It's been eclipsed 4 times, or eclipsed. Eclipsed? Eclipsed. It's been 4 times people have scored more than 68 as a guard in the NBA. So there you go. A little bit of On This Day in History for you. All right, let's do this.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
Oh, we had a lot of fun today on the Jason Walker Show, talking with Catherine Russo, Butte High. Good luck at Ohio State. Good luck for the Olympic trials. We'll talk to her this summer, I'm sure. She was a ton of fun to chat with. Super smart, but also super funny. Don't forget about this. The Jason Walker Show is proudly sponsored, in part, by Manscaped. And I just got it in the mail today. The new 3.0 is out. Lawnmower 3.0 manscaping trimmer is now available. Third generation Manscaped trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to prevent manscaping accidents. Millions of balls are about to be nick-free thanks to Manscaped's advanced skin-safe technology. I've been talking about Manscaped for about a month now, and if you still haven't ordered, you need to. It's premium. This new the battery lasts up to 90 minutes. Longer shape. That's got an LED light, which will illuminate grooming areas for a closer, more precise trim, and a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology. Get 20% off and free shipping. Use the code WALKER20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off free shipping. WALKER20, WALKER20 at manscaped.com. All right. Let's see. What else did we chat about? Did we miss anything? I don't think so. Zach Darko Kelly, are you kidding me? He's going to be the player of the year, not only in the Frontier, but the NAI, and deserved. I mean, he's nearly averaging over the last 3 weeks a triple-double. There's nobody in the country doing those numbers right now. He had 40 points on Friday night, had a double-double, and then he backed it up the next night with a triple-double with 20 points. Are you kidding? I mean, dude's awesome. And you can see him live Thursday night at Helena taking on Carroll College in the PE Center. If you've never seen Zacchaeus Darko Kelly play basketball, go to the PE Center Thursday night. You'll be in for a surprise. He's so good. And by the way, speaking of things to do for fun, you need to go to Green Meadow Country Club. You need to sign up. You need to tell them you heard it on the Jason Walker Show, and you need to become a member of Green Meadow Country Club. We talked about this yesterday, and we're talking about it today. Here's why. If you have driven around the state, Billings, Butte, Bozeman, Great Falls, Missoula, and you've wondered, how can I play on some of these great country club golf courses, like Riverside, like Missoula Country Club, like Butte, like Meadowlark up in Great Falls, Yellowstone Country Club? Here's how. Become a member at Green Meadow Country Club. You get reciprocity at all these places across the state. That's right. You can go golf at Riverside in Bozeman if you're a member at Green Meadow Country Club. How cool is that? Taking a trip to Missoula? Want to throw in the clubs? Go golf at the Missoula Country Club. Just saying. Green Meadow Country Club is where you need to be, and it's why you need to be there. One of the many reasons. Reciprocity across the state. Go visit Green Meadow Country Club. Tell them the Jason Walker Show sent you. All right. Had a great show today. We're going to have a great one tomorrow, too. Who do we got? Oh, Nubia Allen, former Nubia Garcia. The head coach of West Yellowstone will join us tomorrow afternoon. That's what she said. And more surprises, too. Jason Walker Show, presented by Helena Accommodations, the in-town 5-star extended stay residences. Visit HelenaAccommodations.com. We'll see you here tomorrow. Have a good Tuesday.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show. Spring is fast approaching and summer is just around the corner, so now is the time to get those windows tinted at Auto Concepts as the sun starts to heat up. Tinting is the best way to keep the sun out of your little one's eyes driving down the road. Plus, it just looks cool. Auto Concepts is your exclusive 3M dealer for tinting as well as the best clear bras in town. Auto Concepts clear bras will not fade or yellow over time. And don't forget about suspension lifts and power steps for your rig too. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com or check them out on Facebook. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Everyone knows about Dinner's Done Right and the convenience of the cook and carry cuisines. It's so easy to just stop by and you have something for dinner that night. But there's also one more thing you need to know about. Dinner's Done Right Grab and Go Salad Bar. Yes, I said salad bar. Always the freshest ingredients along with a daily soup and nacho bar too. So the next time you are in a rush or you just want to eat healthy, stop by Dinner's Done Right for the soup, salad, and nacho bar. For monthly menus and more info, it's dinnersdoneright.com.